together, near or far, and share gifts amongst each other. My family is important to me, not just at Christmas alone. Trust me, no, it's throughout the year and my whole life. Also, don't forget, it's a celebration of the birth of Christ. I am DJ Richie, wishing you a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I only wanna wish you a very Merry Christmas. Very Merry Christmas.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And before we hop back into Activated Mornings this morning, just want to remind the public that the Solid Waste Management Unit wishes to notify the general public that garbage will not be collected on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Garbage collection for areas whose collection day falls on Christmas Day, Monday, December 25th, will be collected on Boxing Day, Tuesday, December 26th. Areas whose collection day falls on New Year's Day, Monday, January 1st, will be collected on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Collection on all other days will continue as usual, a message from the Solid Waste Management Unit. So, of course, you're listening to myself and Relisa and Christal, and we are Activated Morning this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Morning, Harry.
So what are we talking about now?
Nee.
Before we get into the negative news, because I have to do the negative news at some point. Christal, have something for us?
I do.
Mrs. Claus. Hats and all.
Hats on everything.
Hats
Hats on everything.
About dropping off now, boy. We're going through war this time. All right, so we have a giveaway at this point. You know how we do with 10 days of Christmas giveaways with WFM continues today, and today's the last day. All right. Congratulations to those who have won and collected. If you ain't collect yet, yeah, I gotta make haste. Today's the very, very last day. Okay, great, wonderful. So this one is coming from Log Enterprises. So the question is, by the way, number 4579997. The question is, how many years has Log Enterprises been in operation? Really, it's like not even me knows that. All right, so do some research, do some Googling or something, or you could call and guess, and I will guide you. Let's make it fun and interactive this morning. 4579997. What you are getting is a $50 gift certificate, compliments log, obviously, collectible at Cash and Carry on Fountain Stretch. How many years Log Enterprises has been in operation?
And if it's too difficult,
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
If it's too difficult, we're going to give you... Log will be like, we cannot tell you this morning. You can call via WhatsApp. You can call landline. Let's go. Let's get it. Mash it up.
Never.
Mash it up.
Never.
Okay. So let me give you a hint. It's over 20 years. Over 20, under 30.
So we could have 10 persons calling to us. Or 11, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
No,
The number to call 457-9997.
Nine.
Also,
Yeah.
the number to WhatsApp
Yeah.
457-9997. We're live on YouTube and Facebook at WFM99 SVG.
Yeah, you got 9 options, 9 callers. Come on, make it quick now. A whole $50 we're giving away and nobody wants it?
I want it.
No, you can't have it.
Go said Harry. Somebody
You
call
can-
Reggie
So
call
then,
you
one
outside.
these days, one these good days.
Somebody on the
Reggie, call
live,
you
you know,
outside.
we even taking comments on the live. Somebody on the live said 23. Close, but not there yet. Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, Trevor. How you doing? How you doing? I will let this post on the live. Guess until you get it right.
You laugh, that's what you should do. 457-9997 is between 20 and 30. It is not 23. Let's go.
It kind of close. It kind of close.
Let's go.
McKellen Ince on Facebook. Guess again.
26.
She bad boy. That is the answer. Ooh, what am I doing here?
Someone says 29.
29 is not the answer.
29 is not the answer. The answer is 26.
26 is the answer. Congratulations to McKellen Ince on Facebook. We're taking those two, man. Yeah, we vibes you like that. All right. So what you have to do is take your ID to Cash and Carry on VG Highway Fountain. and you collect your certificate and you have a Merry Christmas. All right. So that's one. We've got two more $50 certificates to give away and more from more companies. Maybe two or three more companies this morning. Plus sailors. Jeez, Amber, watch your morning. All right, there we go. So
We confirm when is the sailors draw, by the way?
hi.
The sailors draw.
Sailors draws on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
The winner will be announced on air. So yeah,
Okay.
you gotta keep listening.
All right.
Click. All right. So apparently
You clicked
apparently-
and then said click.
yeah.
Cool.
Something wrong with that?
Nothing wrong. What's with the aggression? What's
That was
with the
not aggression.
aggression?
That was
What's
not
with the
that-
aggression?
That's what we call it, drama. Being dramatic. Anyways, so we've recorded another homicide, unfortunately. Our condolences to the family and those who mourn. This morning, the person passed away yesterday. There was a shooting in Rose Place.
You know, that annoyed me
What another-
because I even knocked wood yesterday, release what I said.
they're not that what they had enough.
Right? I really
You
appreciate
knocked
the
wood in
fact.
here?
Yes, I
this
really
good wood in here?
appreciate. I really appreciate. I really appreciate the fact that it has been so peaceful and people are embracing the Christmas season. And I leave the studio half an hour later, shooting in Bottom Town.
Was it circumstances surrounding that? Anybody knows this yet? Because I didn't.
No one
get
knows
to
as
read
yet.
anything.
Shooting.
I tried
Mm.
contacting public relations. Public relations, for some reason, they either weren't taking the calls or their line was down. So I have no idea. So the story is on IWN. A shooting in Lower Edinburgh around 10:30 a.m. on Thursday has left one man dead, another injured, and the homicide count in St. Vincent and the Grenadines this year is at 53. Reports are that gunfire rang out. I've never heard someone say that. But reports are that gunfire rang out in the area of Nine Steps. You know where Nine Steps is? Close to Bullies there. Leaving Dwayne Banfield, 34, and Alan Lewis, 29, with multiple gunshot wounds. Both men were transported to the Milton Keynes Memorial Hospital, where Banfield died some hours later. Lewis is said to be in stable condition, having suffered a gunshot injury to each of his legs. Thursday's killing was the second shooting in the Edinburgh area in about 3 weeks, and also ended a 3-week spell in which there have been no killings in the country. I really wanted us to
Really?
go to
That
the
was so
new year.
long? It was so long that
Yes.
we
It
didn't have
did feel,
anything?
it did feel
Yes.
like a while. was
Yes,
good.
and I have to say, because when the police doing foolishness, I just come here and I knock them. The officers in Layu, good job. We have not been hearing anything coming out of Layu. Nothing at all. No shooting, no fighting, no nothing.
How can you accredit the no fighting, no shooting to the police?
Because they did say that they're increasing patrols and they're going to make their presence felt in Layu. And I believe with police presence comes with fear of going to jail. So I feel people are going to be settling the disputes a bit more peacefully.
Some people don't
It's
care,
another
though.
way to look at it, so that maybe whoever wanted to have crimes or criminal activities, they've ended it. Maybe that's it. But okay,
Highly doubt
let's
that.
give credit to the police.
No.
Let's leave
Highly
it
doubt
at
that.
But
I
I'm
highly
just saying,
doubt
like
that.
sometimes it's kind of difficult to pinpoint who is
Oh,
responsible.
Right.
Well, the
Yeah,
police,
but-
I know the police working, and I have to give the jacket because when they're doing nonsense, I come here and say they do nonsense.
Yeah, sometimes.
So they are doing work. They are working. I don't know if they're fully responsible, but they are working, and you cannot take that away from them.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
All right. I wouldn't be no bitter Betty this morning.
It's Christmas. You have on the hat, everything.
know.
It's
So-
Christmas.
So underneath is the Grinch. I'm kidding.
Yeah, sure. Mhm. Yeah, right. I believe you. I believe you're kidding.
Never mind my back green.
So, so moving on. There were 530 cell phones seized this year. The prisons have 399 inmates. There were 530 cell phones seized this year. Now, yesterday I was saying I don't think the cell
What were you
phone
saying
thing.
yesterday?
I don't
Let me
think the
hear
cell
it.
phone thing is such a big deal.
Let me hear
I
it.
don't think the cell phone thing is such a big
You
deal.
said that?
You
Yes, I
it.
said it and I'll say it again. I don't think the cell phone thing is a big deal.
Okay,
I
what
think
part of the cell phone thing you don't think is a big deal?
I having them as contrabands. They said cell phone chargers, cell phone batteries, and something else.
Oh,
They
okay.
also found diggers,
Really,
which I
diggers,
believe is
yeah.
shivs.
What's diggers?
Diggers.
Oh, diggers.
Yeah.
Oh.
They found marijuana, scissors,
Now you find
and
it everywhere.
cigarettes.
The
Now,
phones are a big deal.
what
know.
I was saying is, I feel like you could regulate them instead of having them totally as contraband. And then
Because I was
this
looking at it
story.
from the positive angle of it being a form of entertainment. Them using it as entertainment.
So then this story comes out, and I'm like, I should have stayed home yesterday. I should have stayed home yesterday.
Listen to me. This is one of the times when you listen to me, you're elder.
Nah,
And me too.
Listen
Because
to
I was
me,
telling the same
yeah,
thing.
I stand firm that I don't believe in banning the phones altogether because
How
they
can
would
you-
find different ways if they don't use the phone.
No, but
How
the thing
can
of it-
you?
okay,
Sorry.
go ahead, Christal.
How can you regulate a device that is on their person?
Right. Are they going
And
to?
how
Is-
much-
is the officer going to stand over them to make sure? Okay, so are they only looking at an Instagram video? Are they only looking at something for entertainment purposes, as opposed to using it for communication purposes?
I do believe that if there is a portion in the day that maybe there's an area
Mhm.
they could designate for them to go and use the devices,
But it's not a matter.
I believe there would be
No, but it's not a matter of them going to a designated area. It's what they're doing on the devices.
you monitor them. I do believe that they will be
But how do we
there's-
monitor? Do we stand over them? Would they
There'll
stand
be-
over them to see?
I don't believe if
Mm.
cameras are set up in a room that they would still be
You
be
think we
using
have
the
those
phone
I really
kinds
will
of
be
for
exam-
realistic right now.
these
Let me be
cameras to zoom
realistic
in
right
to see
now,
what
right?
somebody's doing on their phone.
People, there are a lot of people who talk about things on the ground, right? And you don't know unless you're going to spend the money, invest the money to invest in technology to read all the text messages, to read all the WhatsApp messages, and WhatsApp is encrypted, right? To listen to all the conversations. I think that there's another way that they could keep social without having a cell phone on them. They are allowed phone calls. They are allowed visits, right? You are in prison for a reason. You have certain privileges taken away from you. The thing is, it is very difficult to control what is being done on the mobile device, and people have been doing things from behind bars that they are not supposed to be doing, right? Peter P for Paul, Paul P for all. If it is that we can trust all of them to use their devices properly and safely, that is completely impossible. How is it that people could feel threatened on the outside by a prisoner who's behind bars? What are they using? An owl?
It don't have to be cell phone.
They're not using an owl?
It don't have to be cell phone. That's my point.
But
The same way you say they are allowed phone calls and they're allowed visits, they could be instructing people to go and threaten these people in
But-
the same way.
With people there, it is easier to manage the person who is sitting there.
But if
You could record the conversation and let them know that the conversations
or
are
even
going
the
to be
warden
recorded.
might be listening into the conversation, because as I said yesterday, it's not a case where I think that they're going to allow them privacy necessary to have that phone call. If they're accepting calls, then a warden would be around.
I believe they should bug those rooms.
So you want to bug now, but you don't want for them to not use the cell phone?
They have bugs in the bed.
Because
We're gonna get
the
money for
cell
bug the
phone
rooms.
use will not stop. There's some things we have to accept.
And this is why we were making the point of society's role in terms of rehabilitation. Because if society isn't throwing over the phones, over the walls, etc., then they won't have them.
Society. They
You
also
see?
need to crack
Society.
down on when it comes right under your nose.
There's someone
it
on the
pretty wild?
live saying that I can't read, sorry, Christal, let me read that.
All right. We'll get back to that. But we have had this conversation many times on radio, right? And I do recall people saying that there are times when persons behind bars are planning events, whole events from behind bars, making payments from behind bars, ordering stuff from behind bars when they're not supposed to be doing.
Van's way from prison.
I don't know about that, but I'm speaking about past conversations on radio, and these are coming from credible sources. You cannot. It's difficult to control those things.
Mhm.
That's why they are banned in the first place.
But then when you have wardens, prison officers bringing the contraband to them,
Then they deal with
So
them,
then
just
they're
like how
also
they
part of
arrested
the problem.
just like how they arrested the guy the other day.
They also part of the problem.
so what is the solution?
Number one, us as society, whether friends or family, we don't encourage it. Number two, if you find a warden doing something like that, he is dismissed immediately.
Dismiss and you go behind there.
Exactly. Because I'm sure
You
it's an
join the
offense.
And
lot.
you believe that will fix it?
It may
It will
not completely
eliminate.
fix it, but it could help to curb it, which is what we're trying to do.
And I do believe that if you regulate it, it will curb it as well.
But how we regulate it, I think what I've been trying to understand from you is how do you regulate it? It's the same like you have parental controls on a device that you give to your child. Your child can sit down and find ways around that parental control.
Do you?
So unless I'm going to be there constantly over a child to monitor exactly what they're doing on the device, it's going to be difficult.
Do you remember that alcohol was illegal, and because persons kept consuming alcohol, they eventually made it legal? Now, prisoners are not supposed to be consuming alcohol, but they're making the toilet wine. How do they have a chance to do that?
Guns illegal. Everybody using it. Well, not everybody. People use
You,
it. Should you make
can't
guns
compare.
legal?
You can't compare. Everybody not using guns.
But people are using them, and the rate
yeah, but
at
not the
which they're using
majority. A
them-
lot of persons were drinking alcohol. Not the majority. Guns
To what
cannot
benefit?
equate in this discussion.
Let us look at the benefit of what you are proposing. To what benefit? Cost versus benefit.
I do believe that it would help in the reintroduction to them to society. I do believe that it could stop.
They could read
But
the
how?
Bible.
But why? They could have a communal area. Let's say where television is shown.
But that has
viewing
been-
is there. Why do they necessarily need to have a cell phone or a device?
You see, and the argument before cell phones would have been, why would they need a television?
No, but I
Television
think
you
television was
control.
always around there.
Television
Was
is not a
always around.
communication
And you can-
device.
Television
Andy.
wasn't always
And
around.
you can okay, always around in modern era. That's what I mean in modern era, right? But you can have a communal era where you control what is being shown on television. Everybody would be within that space. But a cell phone is something that's going to be individual. How are you going to monitor individual usage?
I believe if the funds are presented, if a budget is presented, then there is a way. No, do
So
I
is it
believe?
There
going
are
to be
other
more
things that are more
wardens?
important
Uh-huh.
that need money to fix, rectify, and put in place that will come way ahead
Mm.
of monitoring cell phone usage behind bars.
And for
I
me, there
don't
need
know.
to be other
We have
rehabilitation.
I call it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they said it several times over. Rehabilitation needs a bit of work,
Mm.
and one of the problems is they don't have enough money.
Correct.
Hello, good morning.
Can I get some money, please? They're here talking about money, money,
Not
money.
a bank.
Saint
So-
Lucia, Saint Lucia, one is super sincere.
Huh? I hear you talking about money. Give me some money now. Give me some money.
Saint Lucia, one is super
But you know
sincere.
something? Hello?
Go ahead, Dave.
Just to respond to all what you guys been saying, when will all of this end? Will it ever end? Will we have a better world? You see, I look at things broadly, deeply, and so on.
Mhm.
I have been around. I can share stories from now till thy kingdom come. And thank God I've been around to have learned so much about the human being, the human mind, Vincentians in particular. Nobody shouldn't come and tell me about Vincentians because I have taken a lot of interest in studying my people, when I say our Vincentian people. But the long and short of it, if you cannot stop or give good examples, live by good examples and all of that, how are you going to breed a better society? I mean, when I hear some of the things being spoken about, since I come into the world, I've been hearing some of these things going on, and we can't find. That's why I say, when will it all end? When will it all stop? Man putting a woman, woman putting a man thieving, man killing. I mean, Are there more negatives than positives in the world? These are questions we need to ask ourselves. Now, I just hear again, I know somebody was killed or murdered, whatever the word is, because we even become so specialized in how we kill people now, or how the killing must be described and all of that. These are the things I look at. You talk about technology. The whole world now, the whole world, not just in Vincent Grenadines alone, the whole world that has been exposed, well, some of the world that has been exposed to technology before us, having their problems, they're looking for solutions and all of that, right? Much less to a place like St. Vincent and Grenadines. When I look at our country, it's just, I'm not sure if we have 100,000 people. We should be able to control our country.
All right.
But we have too much corrupt people in our country. Too much sinful people. That's how I see it, you know.
Yeah, don't raise the pressure.
People
Don't raise the
ain't
pressure.
like me when I...
Don't raise the pressure. Your level's elevating a little bit. Don't raise your pressure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me that. But sometimes you have to stress and emphasize these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am not a criminal. Let me ask you something, for instance. How you feel, Christal, and as two women there, how do you feel when the Prime Minister says that our young men are killing one another to maintain high maintenance women? What does that mean to you? How do you feel about that? Is that a fact? That our young men are killing one another to maintain high maintenance women? So Dave Roberts is going to find himself in that? Oh gosh, man.
Listen, a lot of people cussing about that, but I understand what the PM was trying to say. I don't
They don't want to
understand
keep you on the line to
that.
listen to Ari's response, all right? So
Yeah.
thank you for your contribution.
All right, okay.
All right, take care. I ain't forget you. I just ain't reach you yet. All right, have a good one, yeah?
All right, so the way that I see it is, there are a number of things that would have been banned or that would have not have been permitted over the years, and as society develops, we make leeway for them. Now, back in the days, I'm pretty sure people would have said, why would you have prisoners on the back of vehicles? Why would you have prisoners outside not being cuffed? Why you have them painting? They have a chance of running away and whatever. And they keep making leeway. And do we have stats for the amount of times prisoners escape?
Well, it's based on trust. We realize that over the years it's been
Exactly. So I do believe that they would allow the privileges, the cell phone privilege. It should be a privilege to well-behaved prisoners. I don't believe everybody should have the cell phone.
But you're changing it now.
No, I said it should be regulated. That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
But Relisa was asking you to explain what you mean.
No, I don't have. I can't tell you exactly how exactly. I do believe that there are several ways, and I'm talking about one now. I do believe that there are several ways, but to try to combat something that's never going to stop constantly,
crime
it doesn't make
is never
sense
gonna
to
stop,
me.
but we still have to fight it.
Yeah, but crime is an extreme.
And my point is, things are never going to stop, but we still have to work.
And those things are extremes. But when I'm speaking about marijuana, alcohol, things that we believe that people would always stay consuming, and then we regulate them to at least have some form of control. It's different from crime itself, where people killing and you say crime will never stop, but you have to keep fighting crime. But with smaller issues like this, I do believe it could be regulated.
It's not a small issue.
But to me, this one is a bigger issue, though.
Having a cell phone is a bigger issue than killing people.
Having a cell phone behind bars.
Behind bars area. Behind prison, because we don't know what they're doing.
Behind bars,
you cannot always monitor what they're doing.
But when they're meeting people, we don't know what they're doing.
Meeting people where? In
when
prison?
When people come to visit them in prison,
they have people.
No, but they're monitored. People will be monitoring them.
Really? So how's things still being snuck in? If the monitoring so great.
Listen,
that's your theory.
If you have, that's what the article said, Ari. That's what was disclosed in it. That's how they're getting their items. Things are being
even with
really. And someone said that they saw people handing alcohol to people at the prison consort. You believe it's alcohol alone was being handed?
Person mentioned that was years ago. We're not sure if based on that particular instance.
I think it's interesting.
If stricter measures have been put in place, which is why only certain persons were allowed to participate in this year's prison concert. because of the new location where they had the
I
activity.
think it's interesting that
Mm.
everything that the police say that we take it as fact when I in the media know that police make a lot of mistakes in the
What
stuff
is
that
what
they
is the
release.
fact that we are debating?
You're
now?
saying that the way it happens is being thrown over. I'm saying there's many different ways it could be happening.
So based on the article that we
Mhm.
read this morning, or we were making reference to, one of the problem is that persons throw things over the wall. Another problem is wardens themselves, right?
Mhm.
Both of those situations, they have to monitor, they have to put measures in place. And this is why we said that one, society has to play their role in terms of not throwing things over. That's for rehabilitation purposes. If you have wardens who are facilitating such an activity, they are to be instantly dismissed and charges brought against them.
I do agree with that.
Right?
I do agree with
So
that.
so there are different methods. So one, we know what is the cause, and two, we're finding ways to combat the problem. You don't?
Prison officers.
Yeah, quiet.
No,
I
am quiet because I think the big solution to this is
Kill all the prisoners.
Harry, how we jumped to the extreme point?
No, because we jump into extremes
no,
this morning. We jump into
No,
extremes
that's
this
an
morning.
extreme.
we ain't jumped to no extreme for the morning yet.
That wasn't serious. I made that clear. I wasn't serious.
Prison is not a bed of roses. It was
And
not.
it's not supposed to be.
It was never meant to be a bed of roses. The one of the purpose behind it is you commit a crime, you have to pay the time if that is what the court sentences you to do. Either pay money, you bonded, such and such, or you pay time. You're not behind there to have a jolly time. You are to expect, and obviously, some of your privileges from society will be taken away. Right? There are rehabilitation programs that are in place. Get on one of them and fix up yourself. Now, albeit they have said, when I say they, the authorities have said that they want to do more, but the limitations are funding. They don't have enough money. The country don't even have enough psychiatrists to deal with 110,000 people, let alone to deal with the persons who are behind the prison system. There are mentally ill people who are not supposed to be where they are right now, who are prisoners, and they don't have enough resources. But we're going to find money to deal with cellular phones. Come on, we got bigger problems than that.
So, question, right? Because this is the argument, and I seen it on the live too. You're supposed to go to prison to suffer. So the mentally ill people who commit, no, it's not supposed to be a bed of roses. Prison, and that's what I saw in the life. Prison is supposed to be a place where it's so rough that you don't want to go back, right?
You're not supposed to like it behind there.
I ain't saying you're supposed to like it. I'm just asking. Is that correct, right? You just said that there are mentally ill persons behind bars. There are some people who cannot control themselves. There are people behind bars who lose it and maybe break a window of a Syrian store, of somewhere, of a business, and they're sent to prison, and we don't have the resources to deal with them. Do we want, is the solution to allow them into the prison system with the murderers and the killers to be beaten on, or whatever else could happen to them behind bars because of this? Or should we be trying to put regulations in place to make it less violent for some of these prisoners?
That's why we're going to forget about the cell phones.
Exactly. So this is the point that Christal was making.
Right?
Let's divert our resources, or whatever resources come in to the actual things that are going to matter. Not to have necessarily more wardens to monitor cell phone usage.
Or technology. Come on, man.
You're
right as a free person.
Yesterday.
You gallivant on your phone, you gallivant on your tablet, you gallivant on whatever device. You're free to go to the beach, wherever you want.
Yeah, Carl. But yesterday, I was saying that to me, the scissors and the diggers and other different weapons that are being confiscated are more serious than the cell phones. Now, in the article, they're saying that the cell phones are being used to re-traumatize and threaten witnesses and beg for credit. But we have also seen, we have actually seen the cell phones not being used for negative things. There is no positive to having a scissors or a digger. What they doing? Cooking?
when you in your house, right? Somebody goes to prison, let me say, for raping you, and you're in your house, and pling, your phone comes, and you see a message from a prisoner threatening you, or reminding you of that past trauma. Isn't that worth taking away that cell phone from that person?
Yes, and that is another way that you regulate it. Certain persons who commit certain crimes, you come down harder on them if
Hello?
you find them with cell phone.
Hello, prison system had 391 males, 8 females. Then I got time for that.
Yeah.
Then I got no time for that.
It's
Do your
very
searches.
interesting to hear
Do your
these point of
searches.
views, because eventually this is what they're going to come to. They are going to regulate it because technology improves over and over. And great example is the introduction of the television in prisons. I'm pretty sure in the beginning people were saying they don't deserve no television. Why they getting
They used to sneak
entertainment
them in?
inside the...
They used to sneak them in.
No, we don't know. They had small
TVs
televisions.
and phones.
Communal areas. So everybody
Not all the time.
So people. So how
But
was
we
they going to
don't
get the
know.
TV in?
Sorry.
You remember they
Hold
have
on.
these small handheld televisions? You remember
Let me
those?
stick to communication devices. That is the problem. Prisoners communicating,
Of
threatening people, and
course,
calling shots.
of course.
That is the problem,
Of course, of
right?
course.
So if you
of
cannot,
course.
if they cannot manage regulating it for close to 400 inmates, why they going to
just
why they going
I
to
just
spend their time
want
and
to end
energy on
this
that?
saying today, December 22nd, that at some point we're going to reach to the point of regulating this.
When we get
Watch and
100
see.
inmates,
Watch and see.
So this is the thing. As
Watch
Dave
and
was
see.
saying, Dave was making a point that as years go by, as we advance in technology, we are going to have to find ways to get around certain things, right? So as at the present moment, Ari, because we know that cell phones can be used for the wrong purposes. Yes, communication devices can be used for positives in terms of just, let's say, entertainment. But because of the fact that we don't have the resources to man the usage of these things, at this present moment, the 22nd of December, 2023, we're not going to allow them. We do not want for them to
I
to have
remember
them.
during COVID, I don't remember if it happened in St. Vincent or if it is in the US. The prisoners were getting unfairly treated during COVID, and nobody cared about them. If they catch COVID and die, they catch COVID and die. And it was prisoners using their cell phones that went live and was talking about that. They were the ones able to shed light and deal with the situation. What do we say about that?
That was during
There
COVID,
are
that was
negatives
during
and
country.
positives to this thing.
Okay, here what we're going to end up spending top in much.
Well, I
Yeah.
done with the topic I say, and at
Right.
some point we're gonna have to regulate it, but we
But
have to
not
accept
now.
there's negatives and positives.
Right now, we can't control it because we have bigger problems to do with. Right? So phones ain't allowed.
And more cell phone than man in prison is a problem.
Boy, but
Is
to
a
a man,
problem.
Right.
It's more than two. But anyways,
Mr.
we'll
Thomas,
little break now and come
interesting.
back for quotes.
No. Oh yes, solution. Be good. Don't commit no crime. So you won't have to go behind bars.
And society.
There are people who are wrongfully
society's role
accused.
as well. Society's role as well.
To Relisa's point, I think Relisa has a very good point here that society does play a major role. The
So, we
persons
regulate them now.
regulate one.
The people in the society.
On Friday, December 22nd, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of